Hello and welcome to Barbarian Law. My name is Karim and I'm the host of this show. And today we have some very important news, and it's that Barbarian Law has received a federal trademark for the name Barbarian Law. So anyone who wants to use the name Barbarian Law has to have permission of myself. So today we are going to be discussing why intellectual property is important, what are the types of intellectual property, and what can you do once you have intellectual property. So I asked Gemini what are the types of intellectual property, and it told me copyright, trademark, patents, and trade secrets. All of them protect different types of things. So copyright protects your artistic expression, trademarks protects your something like your logo or a catchphrase like a slogan, and then patents would be for something that are scientific, such as a recipe for a pharmaceutical company. They may like to keep a patent on those so no one can get cured. So they make more money from treatments. So that's the reason why big pharma, publishing companies, they don't like you to repurpose their information, so that the way they control the public domain of how much information is in the public domain is through intellectual property. Some of the intellectual property that is being forced upon you, you don't even know about it. Something like trade secrets. Trade secrets would be something like Google's algorithm, Coca-Cola's formula, something that you may not know exactly how it's made, but the reason why it's a secret is because no one knows what goes in to the cookie or whatever you're cooking. So the algorithm is a black box. So they protect their trade secrets by not telling anyone. So now that Barbarian Law is a trademark, what can we do is we can start to take back ownership of the history of the barbarians. So in Europe, they called the people who invaded Rome barbarian, but that was actually much later in history. In the history of barbarians, when they first started using the term, was pre-death of Jesus Christ, rest in peace. Was like 500 BC when the Persians invaded Greece. They called them barbarians, and Plato was the father of law, said we shouldn't call them barbarians. We should, just because they're inferior doesn't mean they're just because they're different doesn't mean they're inferior. So now we've taken this term barbarian, which has been Eurocentrically used to degrade people, calling them primitive. But now that we've received a federal trademark, you could say that now actually we are in the mainstream, we're in the discourse. So now we can start to talk about those barbarian laws. What do they mean? And I hope to give you more information about what that means to me and what it's meant for me over the past 4 years that I've owned my law firm, and how it will continue to evolve, right? So the great thing about intellectual property is that no one can take it away from you. Even if you don't have a trademark copyright, you can still apply for intellectual property within yourself, whether you have a stamp on it to say this is approved, this is distinct, this is an original thought. That's something that may be reserved for specific kinds of things that you can claim uniqueness over. However, I hope all of you continue to think about the intellectual property that you've harvested in your own life, and how you can apply those unique lessons from your own life and apply it to the outside world. This is what I'm trying to do with Barbarian Law. So stay tuned. We have more things coming for you. Just wait.